And you notice that the sense of I the bedrock of all experiences, even the experience of waking up early or eating dinner at 7 p.m. or talking to someone. Performing variety of activities. Performing the act of eating, speaking, the sense of I the true I has always been present. This true I that I am cannot exist in the thinking and the thoughts, because self is prior to the thoughts. So when Baba talks about power of silence, he's referring to the one who is beyond the subtle layers of the mind. And the body. One layer of the mind is thinking is happening. Thoughts are seen. One thought is thinking about another thought. That is one layer. More subtle layer of the mind is the sense of being a thinker of these thoughts. Which speaks as I am thinking right now, I am not thinking right now, there are fewer thoughts right now. That is a more subtle layer of the mind. Being a thinker, the owner of the thoughts. The subtlest layer of the mind which comes from being the feeler of the feelings, doer of the actions, experiencer of the experiences. That subtlest layer is the sufferer. That suffers the thinker. These are all subtle layers of the mind that the knower is aware of. The observer, the witness is aware of. Which layer is my sense of self attached to? Is it in these different layers of the mind? Or is it being prior to all these layers? That is the place of silence. Being the silent observer of all these layers. It is here magic happens. It is here that Baba says, you can give sakash to any soul. It is here that you can give the power to any thought you want. And this knowing of silent witness, not mixed with any layers of the mind, that Baba and I are eternally inseparable. Baba's virtues and Baba's qualities and Baba's powers is not something I need to reaffirm and own and claim, because that's who I know myself as, the one whose natural fragrance is Baba's way of being and seeing. And it's ever present, always there for each one, without changing, without shifting. So it's not a shift in consciousness. It's just a shift of attention. Shifting attention from the layers and layers of mind to being the silent observer who only knows the silent company of the Supreme, Supreme Friend. Rest is all layers of imagination. You know, today we will read Murli on two Murlis side by side. One is the power of silence, and then the other one is power of silence is the basis of the powers of discrimination and judgment. So 13, 11, 81, and 21 to 83. Yeah. 13, 11, 81, and 21 to 83. Okay. So Very beautiful. Meditation was based on this only. Yeah, the different deep layers Baba has spoken about. The power of silence. Today at Amrit Vela, Bab Dada went on a tour to see all his children everywhere. Whilst on the tour, Bab Dada looked at the preparations made by the Shakti and Pandav armies to see to what extent the armies have become ever ready and powerful with all the weapons. Are you waiting for time, or are you making preparations to keep yourself constantly complete? Constantly complete. Therefore, today, Bab Dada, the army general, went to see the armies. The main thing is, what is the main thing for this army? Baba's army, the commander-in-chief, the army general.
Power of silence.
Power of silence. Victorious over the power.
So this one is 21 to 83 one. This is
yes.
one you're reading?
Yes, sorry. Yes, thank you.
21 to 83.
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. The main thing is the power of silence, victorious over the power of science. Baba was seeing, child, to what extent you have attained the power of silence, both collectively and individually. Yeah. With the practical fruit of the power of science. To what extent are you able to or have already transformed yourself, the atmosphere, your attitude, and you, the silent being, your sanskars? Today, Baba checked the power of silence in the laboratory of all you soldiers in the armies to see how much you are able to experiment. So now he's going to tell us what is the very first thing necessary for this experiment. It is, child, it is extremely necessary, or the very first step is, it is necessary to maintain self-awareness. And also to speak knowledge, but according to the present time, all souls want to see the visible fruit, which is the practical proof. They don't want to hear just knowledge. They want to see the practical proof. Therefore, you experiment on your body using the power of silence. And see, Baba is saying, experiment on your body, and see what he will say, what that means a little later. Yeah? In the same way, souls of the world. Child, they want to see to what percentage you are able to experiment with the mind, with the actions, with relations, and with contacts. So he wants you to live a spiritual life. He doesn't want us to talk about spiritual life. Right? Yeah? I can't say I'm living a spiritual life, so I need to get out of this world. No. Being spiritual means being spiritual whilst living here in this body and in this physical world. Yeah?
More introversion.
Yeah.
Self-awareness and introversion.
Absolutely. And see what Baba will tell us. All Brahmin souls want to experience themselves to be the most special of all special souls in the form of visible proof. The result, according to the importance of the power of silence, is that there is less systematic experimentation with this power.
Just to explain it, I'm not clear.
Okay. Because according to the importance of power of silence, it's not being given that much importance that it deserves. Yeah, that is what it means. And because of that, there is less systematic experimentation. Is that clear?
We haven't explored the power of silence. We haven't got into the depths of the power of silence.
Yeah. So until you know the power of silence, all the experimentation is based on very flimsy foundation. There is no foundation. So it has to be based on the power of silence, which is the power of the soul, which is I, the me, that is silent itself, that is silence itself. Yeah? There's a great desire. There is also that knowledge, but you must now continue to move forward by experimenting. While experiencing the refined attainment of the power of silence and using it for yourself and others, you now have to pay more attention to this. Now Baba is telling us what is this. Souls of the world and souls who come into contact and relationship with you have to realize that they are receiving rays of peace from this special soul or special souls. All of you should give the experience of being a mobile Shanti Kund. Absolutely gorgeous. God is gorgeous.
Baba said,
Yeah,
I think like 10 days ago, Murli also, something mobile.
Yeah. Yeah, peace makers. He just
Mobile centers. Baba said you are mobile service centers.
Yeah, that was
service
10 days ago.
Yeah. And today, Mobile Shanti Kund. And how will that be possible? He will tell us. Abhi aa raha hai, and then I may take some pause to go into the detail of it.
Baba is so advanced, even then.
Yeah. Forever advanced. He's speaking from that place of silence that he is. Because then, see, his rays of light are falling on the bed of the ocean. And he's looking at the bed of the ocean through all the layers of the mind. That is the water. So he's seeing you, the bed of the ocean, that silent rock. that foundation. Yeah? Straight on that, he's shining light on you.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So he's cutting through all those layers. Yeah? To reach you. So that is why Baba is saying that your creation, a tiny firefly, is able to give the experience of light from a distance, so that anyone who sees a child, even from a distance, would say that it is a firefly coming and going. Can you see this? It's dark night and you see a firefly from nowhere. It just lights up that dark night. So you, the being, in the darkness of the minds of all the beings, you, out of and beyond the darkness of your mind, you see yourself as that light which is before and beyond all the layers of the mind. So you become that firefly effect. Does a firefly know who's looking and who's knowing it? No, no.
Doesn't care.
Doesn't care, just shines. I, the being, just shine. So really, to understand who I am and with Baba, and what are the subtle layers of the mind. So don't go after observing the thinking. That is a small fish. Go after knowing the thinker. That is a big fish. If you can catch that big fish, game is over. Do you see that? One is to know thoughts. One layer. One layer. One is to know there's another subtle layer, which is the sense of thinker. I am thinking these thoughts. Sense of a thinker. I am owning and thinking these thoughts. Can you see that layer? It is inseparable, thinker from thinking, just like soul from God. This sense of a thinker is inseparable from thoughts. A moment the thought comes, the sense of thinker is attached to it. Can you see it?
We can say thinker is the soul.
No.
The person.
The person.
The person.
Soul is the observer of that thinker and the thoughts.
But sister, the first layer you said is the observe the thoughts.
That is a start. So that at
Yeah,
least
first
you
layer is the observe the thoughts.
thinking.
So now the who is observing? Obviously the soul is observing the thoughts.
When the soul begins to observe the thoughts, then it perceives many different layers of the mind. So first layer is observing thoughts.
This one thinker of the thinking, the mind.
Wait, this is just a second layer, yeah? We are coming to the subtlemost, okay? We are coming. Right now, it's not the subtle. It's still a very gross layer of the mind.
No, you mentioned in your meditation, so that was I was thinking, yes.
Yeah. So one is the thinking, thoughts. Second is I am the owner and the thinker of that thoughts. It's me thinking. It's my voice. It's me and my voice. That is the
Which means
second.
that person is already identified with those thoughts.
Absolutely. And majority of the time we are living at this second, not even second, we'll go further. Then there is the feeler of the feeling. I'm feeling this thought. There's a feeler that is born. Then there is an experiencer that is born. I am the experiencer. I'm the one who's experiencing this pain. Yeah? So then there's an experiencer that is born. Even the subtlest of all, the sufferer, who's suffering all these layers of the mind. Yeah? And Baba is telling us, no, you are just a silent being, and these are all different layers of the mind. But you are untouched. Untouched. And this is what Baba is saying. You will see now. Now, I told you now so that you will understand what Baba is saying. Okay? So now Baba is saying, the power of silence can enable, child, your thoughts to reach other souls even faster than a wireless. No, I missed a few lines, sorry.
Yeah, you missed a few.
Yeah. Their intellect should experience that an incarnation of peace has come to give them peace. All the peaceless souls everywhere should be drawn to the sacred place of peace on the basis of the rays of peace. Rays of peace. If you, the being, can truly penetrate your mind and go beyond your mind, before your mind, and know I am that one, automatically your rays of peace are spreading everywhere. Because today the soul is caught up in being one of the layers of the mind. And so its vibrations are also veiled by one of these layers of the mind. And then the thinker tries to create a powerful thought. A sufferer tries to create a powerful thought. A feeler and an experiencer tries to create a powerful thought. Does that make sense? Or the one who is silence itself creates a powerful thought.
I think so. This one is always Baba talk about it in this class. The lot of, as we said, Baba said, is a lot of past experiences sitting in the mind in the form of thought in a different feelings, emotions, experiences, it suffer, pain, heart. So these you just dissecting the layers of the mind, but these are the past memories which our mind is holding, and the something is the triggers comes with not trigger, just like they emerge.
That is one thing. That is one thing is a memory. One thing is to identify and become that.
Yes. Yeah.
The difference, yeah? We either being am living as that personality of a feeler, of a sufferer, of a thinker, of an experiencer, That is an identity, because the thinker is constantly changing suits. I am happy and I'm excited. Then a little bit later, I am not so happy. Then a little bit later, I am having fewer thoughts. Then I'm having more thoughts, or I'm having no thoughts. This is how this is all the game of the mind is playing.
Yeah, Baba says sometimes you take your picture how the moods are changed. In
Ah.
Baba's Murli says how the moods changing.
So the changing mood is fine. Being that changing mood
It's
is
not
where
fine.
soul is getting caught up.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is why we are taking layer by layer that Baba is telling us every day, so that no confusion is left. And all that is left is I, the silent being, observer of all these layers. Yeah. Clear?
Yes.
So that is why Baba is saying that the power of silence, no, sorry, just as a thirsty person is automatically drawn to water, in the same way, souls should be drawn to you souls who are incarnations of peace. Yeah? Now experiment with this power of silence even more. Baba really wants you to go to the depths of who you are rather than sticking in one of these layers. Okay? The power of silence can enable your thoughts to reach other souls even faster than a wireless, depending on which layer you're stuck in or you're beyond all the layers. On that will depend the power of your thought. Yeah? On that. The power of science is able to bring about transformation, growth, destruction, creation, upheaval, and also give comfort. You know what? Power of science is also based on power of silence. Do you know that? Where are all the scientific experiments happening? On the street?
In silence.
In silence, in a laboratory. By those who spend their entire life in a laboratory. Where do I, the scientist, spiritual scientist, spend my life? With Baba. Not in my mind, separate from my mind. Then I can use the mind as my tool. That's different. But beyond my mind, I am silence. Then I use tools of thoughts. I'm the spiritual scientist, and mind is a laboratory. But I, the soul, am the scientist. Not the thinker, the feeler, the sufferer doing research in the mind. Or the experiencer doing research in the mind. No. Is that clear? Yeah, very good. So Baba is saying, however, now please listen to this line. However, the special tool, underline the word tool. The special tool for the power of silence that you are. What is your tool? A pure thought. From? It will come from Baba. Immediately, the moment you know who you are, your tool is Baba's thought. So Baba is calling thought a tool here. Yeah? And whose tool? The one who is power of silence itself. Only that one can use. Not the feeler, the thinker, the experiencer, and the sufferer. No. The one who's beyond all these layers, that one can use that tool. For the power of silence is pure thought. With the tool of thought, you, the silent soul, is able to see the successful form of whatever you want. For all, first of all, experiment with this on yourself. Experiment with any illness of the body. Yeah? Experiment with any illness of the body. Now, please listen to all of this very carefully. The one that is silence itself will listen to it and you will hear it differently and beautifully. You will really know the depths of silence that you are. Then, with the power of silence, any form of karmic bondage will be experienced in the form of a sweet relationship. In the form of a sweet relationship. Karmic bondage. First with your own self. With your own mind and body. Now you will start to experience it as a sweet relationship. Can you see that? Then the power of silence, bondage is always bitter, whereas relationship is sweet. With the power of silence, this suffering of karma, the bitter bondage of karma, will be experienced as a line drawn on water. How beautiful is that now? What is like line drawing on water? The moment you start, it just goes. You don't even start. You can't draw a line on water. You just can't draw a line on water. So it will be experienced as nothing. Why? Because you are now in a relationship with your own mind and body. You, the silent being, has mercy. And not only it is the one thing we missed, a very big one. There is a thinker. With the thinker, not only comes the feeler and the experiencer, but also a doer. And then a sufferer. I am the doer of every action is a identity living in the mind as a thought. These are the subtle layers of the mind. So the moment thought is identified with, a thinker is born, then a feeler of that thinker is born, then the experiencer of that feeling is born, then the doer of that experience is born, and then the sufferer of that experience is born, of that doing. The moment I am doing, I am breathing, I am doing, suffering is there.
In other ways, a bondage. With
These
the
are all
action bondage. Yes, all are the subtle bondages.
subtle bondages. And then as a result, Baba is saying that bondage is bitter. And that is the karma, bondage of karma, Baba says. Yeah, will be experienced as a line drawn on water, but from the power of silence that you are. You can see it all with Baba. You can see every small feeling with him, every small thinking thought with him. You can see everything with him, but you will never associate your sense of identity with any of those layers. This is the power. Does that make sense? So Baba is saying there won't be any feeling of being one who is suffering. Please listen to this. There won't be any feeling of being one who is suffering, of being one who's going through that suffering. So that is a sufferer. Do you see all of this is coming from where?
Sister, do you mind repeating this line again? It was very beautiful. This one is driving, right?
Yeah, sure. So there won't be any feeling of being one who is suffering, of being one who is going through that suffering. The sufferer, you won't feel like you are the sufferer because you are silence who can observe the sufferer. Do you see how beautiful that is?
This complete silent being is complete detached.
Yeah.
Observer to observing all the suffering of the body. I mean,
And the mind.
that's what Baba says, the one who is suffering and the one who is going through that suffering.
Not the body, the mind and the body.
Yes, mind. I mean, obviously he observed the mind suffering, his body experiencing
the mind. First the mind. Then
Yes.
the experiencer comes later.
Right.
Yeah. It is so important to understand these depths of silence that Baba is talking about here. I missed a very important line, looks like this. Experiment in this way at such a time and see for yourself. Some children do this. Continue to experience this with your body, mind, and sanskars, and continue to move forward. Research in this way. Don't look at one another and ask, what is this one doing? No, I missed some more lines. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah. There won't be any feeling of being one who is suffering, of being one who is going through that suffering. But you will continue to see that scene of karmic accounts as a detached observer of both the mind and the body, which Baba is saying in the next line, of the mind and the body. Mind is suffering today. A thinker is suffering in the mind today. And what is the sign of it being identified with the thinker? What is the sign of it?
I am become pain.
Hmm?
I'm complete embodiment of that thought and experienced all pains, experienced all the suffer. Not only the level of the mind, but it obviously to observe in the body too, said through sensation, through emotion, and effect on the others who lives, the soul living with others.
Even before all of that, what is happening? What is the identity?
Happiness is lost. No.
Discomfort.
Uncomfortable.
Feeling. Discomfort hoga.
Feeling the pain.
Feeling the pain. You know, all of our spiritual effort will be about stopping the thoughts. That will be our spiritual effort, stopping the thoughts and worrying about thoughts. if I'm
not here, sister.
Yeah.
Now we cross this layer. We're not trying to stop the thought.
We are not stopping, but we are still somewhere subtly identified as a thinker. Subtly.
When we don't take pauses and stops and get back to it, then we do.
Immediately, instant responses.
Yeah.
राइट स्मृति नहीं होगी तो दृष्टि वो हो ही नहीं पाएगी सारी लेयर्स को देखने की. इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल.
That is why being that one who is languageless. And Hindi class, I would say those who have not heard, please hear it. I don't usually say that because it was all about deception of language today. And it will help you understand the power of silence that you are. Yeah.
Sister, you're telling us to hear the Hindi recording?
Yeah.
What's
I don't
the
like
date?
to say that, but I know it will really be helpful for you. That's why.
It's today's.
Today's recording, Hindi recording.
What's the date on the Murli?
Sister Priya, it's 21 to 3.
It's in chat box.
Yeah,
Sister,
if you
this
can.
is driving right now, cannot see.
We'll text you, Sister Priya.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll text you.
Yeah. So can you?
You mean today's Hindi Murli?
Yeah. No. Like we had. I mean, for you,
Recording.
Yesterday's.
For us, yesterday night.
Yesterday night recording.
Yeah.
It was a deception of language. How language has created all these barriers and these layers of each mind.
Very simple way and very deep, but very simple. That bhashaless, languageless, right? We're languageless.
Yeah. Very important, huh? Do listen.
That's why subtle and incorporeal has a no language.
Yeah. And it's not just that. Listen to it. You will get to know the details of it.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
And that is what Baba is saying, that you are a detached observer. It is because of the double illness, because of the double illness, that of the body together with the weakness of the mind. Do you see the double illness? Body with the mind. That it becomes visible as a very severe form of suffering. Severe form of suffering. However, experience double power by becoming totally detached and loving to the Father. Do you see that now, what Baba is saying? He's not saying quieten your mind, keep your mind quiet, nothing. What is he saying? Experience the double power by being detached from body and mind, and that is loving to the Father.
One is the power of silence. Double power of one is the power of silence. What other power?
No, double power by being totally detached and loving to the Father.
Loving, okay.
You know? Detached and loving.
By overcoming double weakness, right?
Yeah, exactly. This mind and body weakness, which means the person identity. Right? Which means the thinker, the feeler, the doer, the experiencer, all of those identities. Yeah? So when somebody says, I'm feeling so hurt, I'm living as a feeler of that feeling. I'm experiencing pain in my body. I'm saying in my body, and I am experiencing, but I have become the experiencer. Whereas I'm the observer, of that experiencer who is experiencing and suffering pain of mind and body.
Sister, how to get the double power to detach from mind and body both?
That is what Baba said. Be the silent one that you are. To know yourself beyond your mind and body is the only way. And how do you know yourself beyond mind and body? Whenever your mind is suffering, screaming, yelling, shouting, screaming, feeling hurt, feeling pain, feeling fear, feel a fearer, being a fearer, that identity is there, or being very happy, that happy person identity is there. You are observer of it all with Baba. Don't associate with any layers of the mind. Isolate the I that you are completely with Baba. No language. And the moment you have no language, you have none of these layers of the mind. Mind thrives on language. Yeah?
Yes, that chattering goes on in the in the mind. Why it's me? Why it is happening to me only? Yes, yeah.
That is a sufferer. So we've already gone through the layer of thinker, feeler, doer, but now I've got to the layer of being a sufferer of that mind.
Mm.
Yeah, I've created a sufferer identity already. Why me to is a sufferer identity altogether?
Yes.
Yeah, but can I observe from that place of being that silent one who has no language? And this is the language of the mind speaking. There's nothing else to it, just language, which has no meaning other than the meaning that the mind was taught from day one. Does that make sense? That is why language is the basic foundation of all confusion.
Yeah.
And the birth of a person is based on language.
Here exactly what you refer to language. What do you mean by language?
Language. Anything. It could be French, German, English, whatever it may be. Any language. First, the language is born, and then based on that language, a meaning is given to every word. Then based on the meaning that is given to every word and how my mind understands it, perceives it, sees it, feels it, experiences it, then all the experiences are born. And then the thinker, feeler, all of these things are born, and a sufferer is born. All these identities.
Mhm.
So when I
To
know I'm
when we try to be languageless,
not try
so
to be, that is still language.
Mhm.
So it is language
Yes,
less.
output, just put less output means you speak, do not speak unnecessarily. So this
That
is
is
the one
simple, huh?
option.
Yeah, but that is very helpful tip. At least speak less. Very helpful. Then you will see your thinking is still going on.
yeah,
Yes, it's a more because the less when the input is a less, the sorry, output is a less, the input is a more. The more the
I
mind
would not
become
use the
noisy.
word input there, but I will see what is already there. Yeah.
Yes.
What is
speaking
already
less or being silent doesn't mean that you stop thinking. Sometimes when you become silent, that means you are thinking a
no.
lot, but you are not getting the right word to express it. That's why you are silent.
That is that's a confused silence, but it's still better than speaking confusion. Yeah. It's still better than speaking confusion, really. It's better to keep quiet than to speak confusion. You know? And then if the confusion is there and your mouth is silent, it's okay. It's okay. Be the observer of that confused person. You are not that confused person. Be the observer. Step back. Be that languageless being with Baba. Yeah? And allow that confusion to settle in its own time. Don't fight with it. Don't try to think more to get rid of the confusion. That thinking will also get added to your confusion.
Yeah.
What the mind does is it wants to think more and collect more information to get less confused. And the very first reason to get confused is thinking.
But is it possible that keep the mind thoughtless?
No, mind is not we are keeping thoughtless. We never said keep the mind thoughtless. We never said that. See, this is how we are hearing it. See how same thing is heard differently by 10 people. Huh? We never said keep the mind thoughtless. You cannot. Be that one who has no language, is the soul. And mind is separate from me, which has got lots and lots of language in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So when you are saying
Separate from-
languageless, it's Atma ki bhav mein raho, become a soul. Yeah.
It is the soul that is languageless, not the mind.
That's why
Mind-
Baba
Mind
says
cannot be
totally detached.
languageless. That is the problem.
Yeah, it
Yeah, that's
cannot
why Baba says a totally detached. So the detached from whom? The
Yeah.
detached from the mind, the
Mind
thought
and
of
the
the
body.
mind. And
The illness.
Baba didn't say here not to, I mean, just suppress it or avoid it or change it. He said detached. Means Baba knows thoughts are there,
Exactly.
but you have a power of silence able to detach from the
So the
noisy
soul,
mind.
detached observer, in its eternal form has no language. So that one is detached from the language of the mind. And language of the mind is thoughts, feelings, emotions, right? Memories. All this is the language of the mind. Moods. This is the language of the mind. So I have to be either being naturally detached from it, because I am silence, observer of all of these. But there's so much identity at that level where the soul is so identified with different layers. If it's not mind, it doesn't catch the soul at the level of thinking, then it will catch at the level of a thinker. If not at the level of the thinker, then the soul will be caught at the level of feeler, of the feeling. And if the mind cannot catch you there, then it will catch you at the level of experiencing. And if not, then at the level of doing. If not, then at the level of sufferer. It will just catch you somewhere. So the best way to do it is just get out of all those layers automatically. Just know I cannot be any of that. Anadi Swarup. The absolute nature of the being, the way the being is when it is totally not come in this physical world and is not played and has not started playing any part.
Yeah.
And that is the awareness of who you are, who's never played any part yet. That one is you. Only from that space can you truly be detached from all these layers of the mind without struggling and entangling in any one of them. Now, do you see how powerful the sun must be to reach the bedrock of the ocean? Baba's seeing you through all of that. And so Baba said that then this double power of being detached and loving will enable you to be victorious over the power of any karmic account. No matter how severe the illness is, there won't be any experience of pain or suffering. So Baba did not say use the power of silence to get rid of your body's illness. What did he say? Please, this was very important for me to point it out to everyone.
Not experience of pain.
It is no. There, no matter how severe the illness is, there won't be any experience of pain or suffering, which means you refer to this in other words as experiencing a crucifix to be a thorn. You won't suffer the pain. Your mind won't, your mind may complain about it. Your body may feel the pain, but you won't suffer, either mind or the body. Because you are the silent one. This is experimenting with the power of silence, not trying to heal the body.
So the body may be suffering, but you
The
are
body
separate
may be in
from
pain.
body may be in pain, and the mind may be creating all the havoc.
Yeah. But you don't suffer.
Means I don't need to say, hi, I have a pain. Oh my God, what happened? There is no fear, nothing. So means
Pain
complete
will come
detached. Yeah,
later.
pain is there.
Pain
Even
will come
mind
later.
complains.
The being is just silently present, observing all the pain, observing all the complaints of the mind, observing, even if it's not a complaint, just ooh, ah, ouch, whatever it may be. The silent one is just observing. There's nothing to say. But even the mind that is shouting and screaming, the being is just a silent observer. Ah, silent observers bodilessly observing that pain, thoughtlessly. Thoughts are there of the pain, but I am thoughtless one observing the thoughts, bodiless one observing the bodily pain.
Sister, can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Few days back, I had severe pain in my leg. I couldn't walk, and it was so painful that I can't tell you. Then I experimented this thing which you are saying. I sat with Baba. I was observing the pain, and after few minutes, there was pain, but it was not so much which I couldn't bear.
Hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so it happened with me, and
Yeah.
after it was pain, but meaty pain, which you can say.
It was not suffering anymore. So the
Yeah,
pain was not torturing the soul anymore. I mean,
yeah,
soul cannot be tortured, but soul was observing the pain. So it didn't
yeah,
feel
yeah,
intense.
yeah. I have experienced this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
दीदी
good.
दीदी और एक
Yeah.
भी होता है जैसे जब एक ही साथ कट भी गया और जल भी गया आँख में, तो दोनों का अलग-अलग जो दर्द एक साथ महसूस हो रहा है, लेकिन कोई भी दर्द में नहीं है। एक काटने का
हाँ.
अलग दर्द होता है, जलने का अलग महसूस होता है।
Yeah. Exactly. So you
दोनों
will
से
be just, yes. Yes. Yes, Keith.
Okay, sorry, I thought Debashri sister is talking. So yes, because only person can be the sufferer, right? Soul can just observe. Soul cannot be a sufferer. Soul can see all these sufferings, right? But
Hmm?
just cannot be suffer that pain. Yeah, it's and the effect will be less when soul will cease. The effect on the body will always reduced. Yeah,
Yes.
this has experimented. Yeah.
Exactly.
But
And this is
sister, the soul is also experience the pain, right? But yes, the soul is not attached to the pain.
Mm-hmm.
But just like it's my pain, I am the hurting, I'm the feeling. But yes, he's experienced the body has a pain, so body's
But then
certain part has a
experiencer
pain.
is not born. But experiencer is not born then. The one who suffers the pain is the experiencer of the pain. Soul is the observer of that experience also.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, the soul the soul is the one experiencing the pain, but yet he's a detached from the
Detached
experience of the experiences.
Yeah,
ये
exactly.
ऐसे ही बोल सकते हैं जो भी दर्द और पेन आ रहे हमारे ट्रूथ की तरफ वो इंडिकेट कर रहे हैं, वो इसलिए आए हैं।
Huh? Absolutely. Very good. Very good. Absolutely. Any pain, any suffering of the body and mind is pointing at the one who's beyond suffering. Very good.
ऐसे दीदी बाबा कहते हैं ना अब भी हलचल आ रहे, तो हलचल माना क्या है, हलचल होगा पहले तभी तो बीज बोओगे, अच्छा
हाँ,
बीज अच्छा फल होता देते हैं, पहले हल
हाँ,
चलाते हैं। तो सिचुएशन
हाँ.
कुछ भी आ रहे वो आपको बीज बोने के लिए आ रहे,
Mhm.
ये चीज
Yeah, very good, very good. है ना? तो mind की हलचल, restlessness of the mind, restlessness of the body, can they exist without you, the bed of the ocean?
no.
Can they exist? No. They cannot exist. So they are all pointing at who? The one who contains all these different expressions of the mind and different expressions of the body. I am that one.
How beautiful, sister, this one is.
Yeah. And that is being that silent observer. And this is why Baba's Murli, this on silence is just so fabulous. Then this double power will enable you to be victorious over the power of any karmic account. And what is a karmic account? Person suffering, feeling, thinking, believing, doing. That is the suffering. So Baba is saying the power of silence will overpower all of this. This is the karmic account. See, it's so important to understand what karmic account also means. You know, ego of a sufferer doesn't want to die. There's such a strong sense of identity with I am suffering, I am poor me. And it doesn't want to die. So it wants to hold on to that identity. Yeah. So karmic account is nothing but a feeler, doer, thinker, experiencer that is born in the mind. That is a karmic account. And the soul that is silent observer will not suffer. It will be victorious. Yes.
And sister, Dharamraj ki saja also, no?
Dharmaraj ki saja is to identify with these mind identities of being a feeler, thinker, doer.
To be in the trap of the all layers is kind of, yeah.
Exactly. That is the saza. Majority are suffering, Dharmaraj, right now. Yeah. So that's why Baba is saying that continue, no matter how severe the illness is, there won't be any experience of pain or suffering. You refer to this in other words as experiencing a crucifix to be a thorn. In Hindi, it's actually more of suffering than experience of pain or suffering. English thoda sa twisted ho jata hai, no problem. Experiment in this way at such a time and see for yourself. Some children do this. Continue to experience this with your body. Please listen. Continue to experience this experiment with your body, mind, and sanskars. So suffering of the body, suffering of the mind, and suffering of the sanskars. And continue to move forward. Research in this way. Don't look at one another and ask, what is this one doing? What did this one do? Don't look at whether the older ones are doing it or not, that the older ones are not doing it, but the younger ones are doing it. Don't look at any of that. Go ahead in the experience of I first, because this is a matter of your own internal effort. Whoa, wow, wow, wow. This is the matter of your own internal effort. It's got nothing to do with what others' parts are doing around you, whether others are doing it or not. Internal effort. When you engage in experimenting in this way by yourself and continue to move forward, then the combined power of silence of each one of you will create an impact on the world. Gorgeous.
This means when you're detached, right, from your mind, body, sanskars, this is the internal effort Baba is talking about. When we
Exactly.
do it collectively, it will
No.
do the
Baba is saying do it individually first.
individually first, because the internal effort. So that means
No,
this
uske
individual
baad
effort.
bhi. Uske
Okay.
baad bhi he's saying each one of you will do your own effort and then combined effort of each one separately.
Combine. That means collective. This one was interpreting as a collective effort,
Not
okay.
collective effort, combined together. Your
Okay.
effort internal, my effort internal, their effort internal, combined together will create an impact on the world. So each one has to just take care of themselves. That's it.
समझा ऐसे ही था.
समझा? ऐसे ही था? Okay. No problem. Yeah. So is that clear?
Sister, I need one clarification. Like you will say USA is also a creation of mind and whatever. So you are sitting there, I'm sitting here, we all are sitting at every nook and corner of the world. But if we are having this combined internal effort on our own, and all together, it's Baba will make combined, or what's your understanding? Make it clear.
Automatic expression of that combined
Perfect.
effort.
Perfect.
It will
Perfect.
be
If we are
happening.
witnessing as a silent witness, and we are
Focus just on
regenerating,
that.
emerging all our powers all together at the same time, or and at any moment of time.
Any moment. So let's say, for example, right now we are collectively sitting here, but each one is focused on their own individual effort.
Yeah.
That is the best way to serve the world.
Okay, all right. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
Not getting stuck in somebody's effort. Oh, your effort is so nice. Oh, your effort is so good. Then I'm already extroverted.
So I say now 10 lakhs of all our Baba's lovely family anywhere, putting this kind of lovely combined with Baba, sitting in Baba's home, wherever we are. So we are all together, combined effort of serving the world. Yes?
Combined is just happening on its own. My
All
only
right.
attention is me.
Only me. All right.
Only me.
Now understood. Now I understood.
Yeah.
My attention is for the self, and it's happening on its own, manifesting as combined. It's okay.
Yeah.
Now totally understood. Thank you, Baba.
Yeah. So we're not getting caught up in, oh, wow, this one's effort is so great. Oh, this one's effort is not so good. But I like this one's effort is so much better than this one's effort. I'm too extroverted. Too extroverted. It's not even layer of mind. I've gone to the layer of outside mind only. Each one is unique and special. And each one is precious for Baba. What you are being with Baba is just what your part is accomplishing. I don't know what the word is, but whatever your part is being with Baba, my part being with Baba is separate from that. Baba needs both. Baba needs both.
We are serving the world, sitting twice a day with you.
It's with Baba. Yeah. We are sitting with Baba,
we are
doing
sitting,
our own individual effort, serving the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Didi, this line really touched this one. कि आपका एफर्ट बाबा के साथ होना का आपका वो भी बाबा को जरूरत है, और इसके अदरवाइज लगता है कि Baba is using most of the time. I don't know, Maya mind says this, Baba is using for this one, my mind always throws this. Baba is using this instrument as much as he can.
Baba is using each one as an instrument.
कई
Each
बार
one
आया है
is
ये.
present.
This one. So this is the answer. So
Mr. Geet, this is very clear to me from 69. Murli Baba used expression of bouquet, and I can never ever forget for it second. Each one, each twig, each flower, everything, even grass is so important. Bouquet is not complete. We all are us. We are inevitable. We are so
No,
beautiful. Let sister, if your understanding is let sister Rini be Ruhe Gulab, it's okay. I can be that lotus or a jasmine or
No,
whatever
why?
all
Why?
together.
That is also Maya.
Nee,
That is
this is
also
Yeah.
yeah,
Maya.
exactly. This is I'm telling like to Geet's ego mind. No, that keeps ushering and telling. So, but we are all equally important. It doesn't matter if you want to feel someone is Ruhe Gulab, someone is that. So what? I'm the Jasmine.
Only
I'm also
speaking-
this.
No. This one even didn't. This one had this understanding for sure. But as soon as Baba mentioned this point, so it triggered that this one in a subtle. Sometimes we don't pay attention to these feelings or these thoughts. But when Baba speak in Murli and when Baba, through instrument, interpret this such a way कि वो लगता है कि ये मन में मेरे बैठा था पहले नहीं. We didn't notice before. Even many more, like आज सुबह की मुरली में भी कि भाषा लहसुन, क्योंकि ये भाषा का इतना ज्यादा है कन्वे करने में, वो बहुत बड़ा रोल है भाषा का, लैंग्वेज का. बट व्हेन वी आर इन अ राइट स्मृति, वी आर मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम नाउ, बट या समवेयर वी आर स्टक इन वन और द अदर लेयर. Even either we are sufferer or whole murli on this today's this morning's murli and evening murli. I think this Baba, made it special for this, for this one कि या भाषा लेस हूँ मैं, क्योंकि हमेशा ये एक point आता है, even after the understanding and all that, this soul is stuck in somewhere, right? So yeah, Baba is, ऊपर निकाल रहे हैं धीरे धीरे.
Exactly. And it's good to see that from a place of being silence. And as a being of silence, all are the same.
मुझे भी अभी ये अच्छे से क्लियर हुआ. मुझे भी ऐसा लगता था कि रीनी बहन और कोई जो भी मुरली सुनाता है ना, वो उसको बाबा यूज कर रहे हैं. हम तो बस सुन रहे हैं, हमें नहीं यूज कर रहा है. ऐसा फील होता था मुझे भी.
तो
No,
सिस्टर
ये भी
रेनी
बहुत
यदि हम लोग
थैंक यू बाबा.
सुनेंगे नहीं तो सिस्टर रेनी किसको सुनाएगी? We
नहीं
all
नहीं
are,
ये भी
complimenting each one.
ये
Thank
भी
you,
बहुत
Baba.
ये भी बहुत क्लियर है कि ये सुनना सुनाना सभी सेवा है. एवरी बोथ वे, सेवा इज बोथ वे, ये भी क्लियर है. बट स्टिल सोल इज स्टक, अभी धीरे धीरे और सटल में है ना, वो अंदर से फील होता है व्हेन Baba
Exactly.
speaks, right?
Sister, I agree. And the way you said this Murli is for you, it's everyone feels here. It's just for me only. 100%. 100%. Totally agree.
So that is why Baba is bringing us to that place where all are really in true sense, not just words speaking another language, speaking another word of being equal, but really going beyond all those layers and seeing the equality. Otherwise, mind can also say, we are all equal, like a mantra. Right? Mind can say that. Really knowing it, seeing it, and as a silent being you can. When you understand the way Baba can use you, that he can only use you. The way Baba can use me, he can only use me. So each one is absolutely essential for Baba.
So, sister, when you were
Only if we
saying,
are out of
mind will
those
say,
layers.
mind says all the time this. We are all equal, but no, with the proper understanding how Baba sees me, how he keeps me feel very different. He needs me that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, mind will say, how this soul behind Rini, she's only enjoying all the intricacies of everything. She's
Mind can
understanding
say,
it so
mind can
clearly. Mind will boggle, mind will kind of keep crushing. But still, I need to separate and respect a soul behind Sister Rini. Respect, regard. It's okay. It's her role, destined to her. It's my role to understand and serve myself and everyone in my own way.
This is just a play.
Yeah.
Real thing is soul beyond the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all are hero actor.
Exactly. Exactly.
And pass with honor and pass with honor.
Exactly. Sister Neeru was saying something also. We heard you saying something.
No, sister, I was saying that Baba will use us only if we are out of those layers.
Yeah.
If we are stuck in those layers, then Baba is not using us, cannot use us, because Baba's rays cannot even penetrate into that if we're just entangled in all our webs.
Yeah. So this entire web I can see as a detached observer. That's why in one Murli, Baba said the spider can swallow the whole web. Yeah. So I am that spider that can swallow the whole web in one go. In, gone, finished. Literally.
And that's his creation.
And that's right.
And he can swallow that. And likewise, this tree of expansion, which is our creation, we can have that separation from that and be out of it in a second.
In a second. And very good point. The creator cannot be in the creation.
He has to be out of it.
Yeah, I can never be part of the creation. I'm the creator. I cannot be in that what I have created. But I can be the observer of it. I can be the seer of it. I can be the knower of it. But I can't be in it, which means I can't be in the thoughts. I can only be prior to and more subtle than the thoughts. Yeah.
But I can merge the entire mind tree. I mean, the entire mind tree can merged by being as a silent or be combined with Baba.
Exactly. And then the whole tree merges in. And you will see subtle feelings will come up every now and then. Even as we are speaking, subtle feeling can come up. And then suddenly you see, oh, Baba and I, and then the feeling just gets swooped in by just gets sucked in by the silence of you. Just by the silence of you, it gets sucked in. Right? I'm a creator of the script in the sense that because I am, there is a script. That's how I'm the creator. Not that I've sat down and written a script. It's eternally written in me, but I'm the creator. It's because of me that the script can exist. That's what it means to be the creator.
Sister, last 10 days, you are focusing more on this. Even if actions are not good, not very pleasant, then also you say, so what? I am there. That's how it's happening, even unpleasantness also. So this one, no, doesn't get a kick out of it. I mean, not a very good feeling. If I am, I am so beautiful, important, that's how it's happening. So whatever unpleasant's happening, so it's not somewhere mind is not recepting it, not very receptive about it. So can you
So
make it little more? Yeah, please.
Does the bed of the ocean complain about the shark or about the beautiful fish?
No.
No. Does that make it less beautiful or more beautiful? Having a variety? In fact, if there is not that variety, the ocean waters cannot be healthy.
You need the variety.
Everybody
need the does.
Each one.
There are some of the fish who will eat the algae. There are others who produce. There are others small.
Exactly. You need the entire variety in the ocean for the ocean to have that healthy environment. So more I know myself as that silent being, ecosystem, the more I know myself as that silent being, my actions actually will become less and less toxic. Because I'm not identified even with the doer. But to be not identified with the doer, because there's such a strong habit to be identified with the doer, and actions have been coming into our thoughts, words, and actions for our 63 parts. And if you identify with those actions which were not so pleasant, then next moment, it will again be more of that frequency because you identified with not a pleasant action as me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very subtle, very, very subtle.
Very subtle.
Very subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I identify with that action, which is not, one is to say out of carelessness, oh, this is not me. That is mind speaking, this is not me.
Yeah.
One is to really see from that place of silence. If I'm not the thinker, I'm not the feeler, the experiencer, the doer, the sufferer, then who am I? I can see the suffering mind, the sufferer that is suffering the action. Can I be the silent observer of even that sufferer who's suffering the action? Can I be the observer of that one?
And that is suffering because of me, the observer. If I'm not there,
If
nothing is
I'm not
there.
there, then none of this game will exist.
Doer also, sufferer also, feeler also,
Nothing exists without me.
experiencer also. So that's how now I understand. That's how relevance of I am there.
Exactly.
Now every suffering is there. Now you make it clear. Thank you. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you.
But I'm not the suffering, not the sufferer. Very, very important. I'm the one within which it can all exist, the whole tree. But I'm not the tree. The more you keep coming back to that, you are. Automatically, the cleansing of the mind takes place. Automatically, the cleansing of this is the deepest cleanser of the mind, your silence power.
Make it clear with some example, if you can.
Yeah. Like, for example, let's say, I'm just making up. Let's say soul behind, brother soul says something to Rini. Yeah. Let's say he shouts at Rini. Not that he does, but I'm just saying he shouts at Rini. Yeah. Now, suddenly, a thinker is thinking in the mind. How can he speak like this? Either being him observing that. But because it's, let's say, very initial practice. And then I also see someone who's the feeler of that feeling, of that thought. And I see that feeler feeling, I'm now feeling hurt. I'm still the observer of that thought and that feeling. Then with that feeling, there's an experience of, in my body also, I'm feeling that hurt. My whole body is feeling uptight and it's all the sensations. I'm still the observer, observing all these three layers. And then I say some words out of that, whatever that this entire first three layers produced. A subtle action, which was probably less severe than before because I was able to see these three, but the habit is still strong. So it came into action, but in a little less severe manner. Yeah, but it comes into action. Now, if I'm not the observer of the doer also, I'll get caught in that doing. Does that make sense? And that is where Maya mind can catch the most.
Didi, sometime Didi, sometime this happened with this one, right? This one is speaking and seeing the speaking, but no, this is not me. It parallelly happened, the speaking also happening. It's like someone else is talking, right?
Yeah.
It happened, like
yeah.
Once or twice it happened, and this one saw with Baba that what is this going on? Like it's like
yeah,
like
it is not at the first layer. It caught you not at the second layer. The third layer caught you at the fourth layer.
Mouth is speaking.
Yeah,
but
you observing.
It was amazing, right? Like same time, both things happening. It's an experience again, but still, soul was experiencing this. Oh, okay, I'm seeing and I'm doing. Means it's being done, right? Not
being done. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you know that at least the first 3 layers you conquered, no? And the fourth
Yeah.
layer is still out of habit ruled, and that's okay. That's okay. You're still the observer of that doing also. If you can really catch this big fish, you are victorious. Because next time, what will happen? It may still happen depending on how strong the habit was and how deep that sanskar was. Depending on that, it will continue to happen, but it will become weaker and weaker and weaker in intensity. Only if you do not identify at any level at any time. And who will be that one? That silent being. Yeah, that one. And that is the power of you. Then you will find mind is getting more and more cleansed, more and more cleansed, more and more cleansed. This is the beauty. Does that make sense? But very good. What the experience shared is I'm seeing it. I know I'm seeing it. I'm feeling, I can even see someone talking it. Yeah.
Yeah, which I never wanted to say also, but still I'm saying because of my past habit, but still
Don't
I'm watching
enforce
it
it.
also.
Don't
No,
reinforce
it
it.
was not there, not wanting, not past habit, nothing was there at that moment, right? But just seeing as a third person, something was being spoken by this mouth, and with Baba, this one is just here
Then you
and
know
just
that
seeing
act had to be performed. Then at that act had to be performed, and it got
had to be
performed.
performed. Yeah, this happened twice or thrice, I think. Something like that happened, right? The soul is seeing and is happening, right? Something is being done. So,
Yeah.
like not like a Baba Seva, but it's
Yeah.
like a Baba when we are with Baba. I think it's Seva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like that in a routine way, means in a drama way, normal kind of scene. Yeah.
Yeah. But if we are aware of past habit, don't reinforce it by coming into words.
No,
If you can. Yeah, but
this one, yeah.
So Sister Rini, gradually it will diminish also. Its impact will be lesser and lesser and then
Yeah.
gone forever. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Got
Yeah.
it, got it.
But be cautious, at least if you catch at the level of, oh, it's now just about to come into words. If you can catch it there, step back.
That's what I was saying. It never intended to do anything, but still, if it's coming and halfway, at times we stop. It's so funny. Whole sentence is not even completed.
Yeah.
And the
You can
soul behind
catch it
brother
just
keeps saying what's
mid-sentence.
happening to her. So,
Yeah.
you don't
Catch
want, and even if
mid-sentence,
you
step back.
catch it and yeah, just
Step back. Yeah.
let it go. It
Yeah. The
was,
silent one is stepping back, not some thinker is stepping back out of feeler. Yeah.
uh-huh.
It is the silent one stepping out of all those layers. That is also very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
See how much attention, so much attention on the self. Where is the time to look at anybody else? Where is the time to look at anyone else?
Do you read this Murli prayer when you make us meditation? I
Oh,
was so
Sister
how
Rupa
this so
told
how the
her.
meditation was just befitting to the whole
Because
thing.
she told me, can you read these lines?
All right.
And this one just read these lines and it's like, oh, this is what Baba is saying. This is what Baba is saying. Yeah. So she just, about 15 minutes before the Murli class, Sister Rupa.
I was thinking it was pre-planned.
Yes,
All the,
Nothing is
the
pre-planned.
this
Nothing one
meditation,
pre-plans
no.
here.
No, it was but matching the Murli also. That's what I felt.
Yeah, yeah.
Meditation was matching the
Because
Murli.
he made me read this paragraph before coming into the class.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sister Rupa, we request you to put this Murli in the group also.
So Baba has said, you have now taken the first step and given an invitation for the World Peace Conference. That is your own silence. So, however, only when the treasure of silence is revealed collectively will you receive invitations. O incarnations of peace, O incarnations of power, come to this place of peacelessness and give peace. Wow. Do you see the beauty? Nowadays, in service, whenever there is an occasion of peacelessness, that is on someone's death, people invite you to come and give peace. It is gradually becoming more and more well known that Brahma Kumaris can give peace. So, in this way, you will receive invitations for situations of peacelessness. Right? Just as during the illness, you don't remember anyone but your doctor. So too, no one except you incarnations of peace will be visible in any type of situation of peacelessness. So experiment with it and demonstrate it to others. How? Reveal the focal point of the power of silence. Do you understand the incarnations of peace? And absolutely, what do you call? I'm sorry, speechless for the power of silence, Murli. Yeah, speechless.
So more will
Shanti
come.
ke avatar.
Be
Baba is saying
speechless.
Shanti ke avatar.
Shanti ki avatar. And more is coming. Sister Rupa has given me 2-3 Murlis on it.
Thank you, Sister Rupa. Thank you. Thank you for the heavy dose. Heavy dose, Baba.
Baba.
An
Be
instrument
Shanti
really is
Kund.
always energetic to, reproduce and give us the nourishment of tonic of Baba.
Baba is giving, yeah. We will
Yeah.
now get out of this habit also naming anybody. Can we?
Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. So we will just, Baba is the one who's using us
But
all.
sister, this Murli was quite very deep to go
Yeah.
again and again. Because layers also, na, you, Baba made it clear. Something
Yeah.
really to experiment with. It's not something to just listen and
No,
be happy. Not at all. It
not at
needs
all.
some lot of work actually.
No, it just needs attention.
All right.
Yeah. You are just that power of silence that you are, and you're aware of all these layers of mind with Baba. That's it. You're not living outside in, you're living inside out. Right? Not inside the body. I, the soul, inside me, all of this is there, including the body, mind, experience, all within me. So I'm the one, which is, it's the paradox. Here I would mention the paradox. I'm the one that is also the one that takes everything in, and within me all these layers exist. And because it's been manifested already, so I'm also the one who's in the center of all this manifested inner world of the mind. Does that make sense?
To make it little more clear.
It's like the seed. The seed, within it, there is the tree. As long as it's just a seed, everything is within it.
Perfect.
And then as it manifests, it's an entire tree outside of me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this entire Rini and the body and the name and the form and the label and whatever personality and the feelings and the thoughts that has created it, it's all outside of me as a tree. But it is all within me also.
It's outside me as a tree and within it's in subtle way.
Yeah. So I, the seed, the soul, out of me, this tree emerged, called this, no? The last part. Yeah. The 84, the culmination of 84 paths is this last part. That is that is a manifestation of that final stage of that tree from within me, the soul.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now it's outside of me. But now Baba is saying, merge it all in. Just by knowing you are a seed. And what is this made up of? Thoughts, feelings, emotions. So when more I'm detached, the more it merges. That is what is happening.
So before detachment, it's attention, awareness.
I, the being, am that awareness, and I'm attentive to my truth with Baba. And as a detached observer now, I can observe, but not engage with it. So then the entire tree will merge. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. All right.
Yeah. So this is the beauty. Yeah. Okay. So unmanifest self has a manifestation, and that manifestation has to go back into the unmanifest self, the seed. It's not like the body will deteriorate and diminish as ashes,
Sanskaras.
but samskara,
Sanskaras. Yeah.
skara, will merge back into me because I don't identify with them.
Hmm.
The script is eternal, no? It can't be erased, but it can merge.
It will be emerge at the own time, 5, whatever, whenever.
Yeah. So that is the beauty. So understood today, seed in the tree?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's very important to maybe experiment with these things every day. Okay. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
This Murli is worth listening twice, thrice. I don't know. Sister.
Yeah. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you, Baba.